My mate Barry from Newcastle called me last month. 71 years old, been on the age pension for 4 years, never had an issue. Then he got a letter from Centrelink. His pension was being reduced by $47 a fortnight, about $1,200 a year. Barry hadn't earned any extra money, hadn't sold anything, hadn't changed a thing. His super fund actually had a rough quarter, returned about 1.2% for the year. But Centrelink wasn't looking at what his super actually earned. They were looking at what they assumed it earned. And as of March 2026, that assumed rate just jumped by a full percentage point. That's Deeming, and it's costing millions of Australians real money based on imaginary income.
Let me explain how this actually works, because it sounds insane until you see the numbers. When Centrelink calculates your age pension, they run two separate tests, the assets test and the income test. Whichever test gives you the lower pension is the one that applies. Most people know about the assets test, I've covered that in previous videos. But the income test catches more people than you'd think. According to research from the Centre of Excellence in Population Ageing Research, 2/3 of part pensioners are actually income test bound, meaning it's the income test, not the assets test, that's cutting their pension.
And here's where Deeming comes in. Centrelink doesn't look at your actual investment returns. They don't check your bank interest rate. They don't look at your super fund's annual statement. Instead, they assume, they deem that your financial assets earn a fixed rate of return. Same rate for everyone, regardless of what you actually earn.
As of 20 March 2026, the deeming rates are these, and I'm reading directly from the Services Australia website. For a single person, the first $64,200 of your financial assets is deemed to earn 1.25% per year. Everything above $64,200 is deemed to earn 3.25%. For a couple, the first $106,200 of your combined financial assets is deemed at 1.25%. Everything above that at 3.25%. Now here's why this matters so much right now. This rate's just increased. From September 2025 to March 2026, the government raised them by a full percentage point. The lower rate went from 0.25% to 1.25%. The upper rate went from 2.25% to 3.25%.
These rates had been frozen since May 2020. During COVID, the government locked them low to protect pensioners when interest rates were near zero. That freeze is now over, and 2.5 million Australians felt it in their pension payment from March. Let me show you what this looks like in real dollars, because percentages don't mean much until you see the money. Let's say you're a single pensioner with $400,000 in financial assets. Super, bank accounts, shares, all of it.
Under the old deeming rates before March 2026, first $64,200 at 0.25% is $160 per year. Remaining $335,800 at 2.25% is $7,556 per year. Total deemed income, $7,716 per year. That's $297 per fortnight. Under the new rates from March 2026, first $64,200 at 1.25% is $803 per year. Remaining $335,800 at 3.25% is $10,913 per year. Total deemed income, $11,716 per year. That's $451 per fortnight. Your deemed income just jumped by $4,000 a year, and your investments didn't change by a single cent. Now, the income-free area for a single pensioner is $212 per fortnight. Every dollar of assessed income above that reduces your pension by 50 cents per fortnight. Under the old rates, your deemed income above the free area was $85 per fortnight. Pension reduction, $42.50 per fortnight. Under the new rates, your deemed income above the free area is $239 per fortnight.
Pension reduction, $119.50 per fortnight. That's an extra $77 per fortnight you're losing, roughly $2,000 per year, because of a rate change, not because you earned more money.
And here's the part that really makes my blood boil. The Deeming rate doesn't care what your money actually earns. If your super fund returned -3% last year, which happened to plenty of conservative options during 2022, Centrelink still deems you as earning 3.25% on the upper portion. You lost money, and the government assessed you as if you made money, and then reduced your pension based on that imaginary income.
Barry's situation was exactly this. His super was in a conservative balanced option, returned about 1.2% for the year. But Centrelink deemed his assets above $64,200 at 3.25%. He was being taxed on income that was more than double what he actually earned. Now, to be fair, deeming works both ways. If your super returned 8% last year, Centrelink only deems you at 3.25%. You keep the difference. The excess return doesn't count against you. So, in a good year, deeming helps you. In a bad year, it hammers you, and you have zero control over which way it goes, because the deeming rate is set by the government, not the market. So who gets hit the hardest? People with lots of financial assets but modest actual returns. That means retirees with most of their money in bank term deposits, conservative super options or fixed income investments. Here's the crossover point that almost nobody talks about. For a single homeowner, the income test starts reducing your pension at roughly $213,900 in financial assets, even if you're well under the assets test threshold of $321,500.
Read that again. You could have $213,900 in financial assets, well under the $321,500 assets test threshold, and the income test is already cutting your pension, because the deeming formula generates enough imaginary income to push you above the income-free area. A woman I know, Sandra from the Gold Coast, had $280,000 in assessable assets, comfortably under the full pension assets test threshold of $321,500. She assumed she was getting the full pension. She wasn't. The income test, driven by Deeming, had reduced her pension by about $900 a year. She only found out when she booked a free appointment with Centrelink's Financial Information Service.
If you've never checked which test is actually determining your pension, the income test or the assets test, you need to, because you might be losing money to a test you didn't even know was running. Now, can you do anything about it? You can't change the deeming rate. That's set by the government. But you can change what's being deemed. Deeming only applies to financial assets, not all assets. Your family home is exempt. Your car, furniture and personal items, they're in the assets test, but they're not financial assets, so they're not deemed.
That means if you move money from a bank account or super into a home renovation, you've taken it out of the deeming calculation entirely. The money still exists in your home's value, but it's no longer generating imaginary income that's cutting your pension. Same logic applies to prepaid funeral bonds, paying off a mortgage on your home, or any other conversion of financial assets into non-financial or exempt assets. I covered these strategies in detail in my taper trap video. Links on screen.
But the most important thing you can do right now, this week, is log into your MyGov account, look at your Centrelink income statement and check what income is being deemed versus what you're actually earning. If there's a big gap, talk to a financial advisor or book a free session with Centrelink's Financial Information Service. They can model your exact situation and show you which test is binding and what, if anything, you can do about it. The deeming rate system was designed to be simple and fair. One rate for everyone, regardless of how your money's invested. No tracking individual dividends or interest payments. And in theory, that makes sense. But in practice, it means the government is taxing you on money you may never have earned.
And when they raised the rates in March 2026 by a full percentage point, after 6 years of keeping them frozen, millions of Australians saw their pension drop without changing a single thing about their lives.
The system doesn't care what your money actually does. It only cares what it assumes your money does. And right now, it's assuming more than ever. If you've been wondering why your pension dropped in March and you couldn't figure out why, now you know. I'm the Retired Aussie. I'll see you in the next one.